We're back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video, and this one I'm going to go through the PPT Invitational Top 16 breakdown and a little bit about my experience as a commentator. And I think by now you've seen a little bit about both. If you've seen the Facebook posts or the discussion for the top 16, I think Joey probably already put up his video. If not, it's going to be out soon. I'm sure Egg will do it as well. This is really just to give my experience as well as my breakdown if I didn't see it on the stream, or say on the stream where you didn't see it there, and as well as a chance to talk about the overall event. Okay, the first thing, how was commentating? So it was very fun. It turns out I really enjoy commentating. I really enjoy being behind the scenes and organizing things and just basically not being too stressed about, being at an event, performing well and things like that. I think on a competitive level and as well as just playing, I think I feel pretty good. I can go into an event and not stress out too much, but there is, that pressure of doing well and just kind of representing myself and others and my team and all that other stuff. But organizing and just being there for everyone, talking to everyone, and just being part of a community that's only growing bigger and bigger and stronger every single day. Like, when you really think about it, like at the event and really many other events, we really don't have that many, bad times. We don't have memorable things that are negative. We only really have memories that are very good for us, and I think that's really good for the game. And I think not only that we've hit 500, 600, 700 viewers at a time, averaging that, peaked about 800 or so towards the end of the day for the day one, and of course about almost 1,000 when Joey and as well as Cam took over for the finals. That should kind of show us that this game is well and alive. It's only getting better, it's only getting more hype, and etc. And for those who haven't seen me, this is a picture of me, Joey, and as well as Egg in the background with the backwards Son Goku hat. I didn't use the one that's fixed, so sorry, Egg. If you haven't seen me in itself, I'm very surprised. You're probably not a person who actually watches too many of my videos. It's on the front page. It's literally, if you go to my profile, it is the first one, is the update video. That's just all me. And I talked about how, in that video that is, how I wanted to kind of expose myself a little bit more, be out of the shadows and just kind of be better at that. And basically this was sort of one of the first steps to do that, not only so I can commentate a little bit more in the future, but also just so I can support others in different ways. And I think, being behind the scenes, being behind the table, being behind the microphone, and as well as, working with George and everybody else at PPG, shout outs to them, it's, showed me that I can really enjoy myself outside of the actual game, or at least playing it, that is. But I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to obviously Eggman, Hayden on the left. We went through a good amount of things together. A lot of people on the stream, or a few people on the stream, was just kind of calling us out if the quips and the back and forth for us, and how we might not like each other. That's complete opposite, obviously. That's just how we jab at each other, and it's just we'll probably tone it down in the future. But overall, I think the stream went pretty well outside of technical difficulties. The rounds over and over after getting so many top players, and as well as just like really skilled players, like it just really opened my eyes of like, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I actually commenting the right thing, or is their thought process a little bit different than mine? And doing the interviews after the game as well, just the posting game interviews was a really nice touch in my opinion, because that gave me some insight in the questions I would actually ask, and as well as try to give a little bit of chat involvement. And of course, chat's just being chat. That's just how it is. You give free reign for anybody to say anything about you and exposing yourself, and even though you're working hard and stuff like that, it doesn't matter. And even though it's free, it doesn't matter. People will say what they need to say, or want to say, that is. But I digress. It's just one of those things. It's just about being on the internet. The other thing is just having everybody here, having Joey obviously on the stream, and as well as taking the picture with us, commentating the finals. Cam was amazing. I can't say that enough. He's more than willing to give suggestions and help out, and just, like you said, get the data and as well as judge. Like, he was there not to play, but to support everybody else, including us. And I really do thank him for that. Shout out to Frank Miller, the mailman, being on stream and just taking all those Gogeta 7 comments. And just really everybody else who came on the mic, and anybody else who I forgot. I mean, honestly, the The week one was a blur, but it was a great memory. I would love to do it again. If you guys want me to do that again, it's not up to me. I can't just go up to an event owner or TO and be like, hey, I want to commentate your event, or let me commentate your event. It is really up to them, and as well as probably the influence of everybody else convincing them. Either way, I had fun. If you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. So let's take a look at the leader breakdown as I updated this from the Chicago one, and we have a couple new faces, or at least one new face with everybody else already there with the percentages change. So this is really interesting. A lot of people are making these surge jokes and things like that. I made mine in the last video. This one is just sort of like, okay, I kind of already knew this was going to happen. It's the new thing. Anything that Bandai kind of puts out that is new, i.e. power creep, or at least something that is supported a little bit better than the last archetypes, or the ones that dominated before, i.e. Yellow Broly, or i.e. Starter Baby, Beerus, all the other stuff that I'm going to go into. It's really obvious that surge leaders are not only really versatile, but also very, very, very strong. But they have their faults, and I think we haven't really identified those going into this event. I think going into this event, it was really just to take down, either play Surge Coup or you take down Surge Coup. And Piccolo was a really good pick with that, with a lot of different variants, from blue green, yellow tricolored with like Andrew Duvall's. I couldn't get over Andrew Duvall's, which I'll go into in a second. But and as well as the winning deck profile that actually, or the deck that was the Zamasu package, or there was a Zamasu package in it. I think with 5 decks being Surge Piccolo, it really showed like Piccolo was very strong at being that control mind, the control oriented deck that it wants to be. It has great draw power as well as the scry effect, and it has awesome effects into hand destruction, and as well as ramping on their turn, and as well as your turn, in order to get to higher threats or higher level threats. Surge Coup was great, low to the ground. I want to play a lot of threats and then kill you eventually throughout, because I can outgrind you, I can outpace you, I can out hand advantage you. But it fell short when a lot of the cards in the deck are basically 2 or 3 costs, and not a lot of 1 cost, not a lot of cheap costs, in which Surge Coup really needs to get to that point where it's comfortable to do that. And it's a really good tempo mid-range deck. When you get to that 3 energy, even 2 energy can be really can do really well with for you. Surge Coup kind of shines in that, just outgrinding you, just doing better than you in a lot of different ways. And then we have Surge Broly, which I think is an awesome pick. I don't think enough people played it. I think the people who did play it, i.e. Peter Katani, I do believe Isaiah Herring, and I forgot the last one, but we'll take a look at it. You can basically kill anything. I think the biggest issue with Surge Broly in a lot of these lists, or at least the list that people played, didn't really have self-awakening, which I really do like. Oh, it was Robert Risi, where on stream I noticed that he did play the championship pack Broly, which helped a lot, being a 20k 2-cost threat and being able to help you self-awaken, get you that 3 or less. When playing against Surge Broly, you don't want him to take life, and you don't want to attack too many times, and that's where Surge Piccolo comes in which the 6-drop King Vegeta turns off everything, and then Victory Strike basically doesn't care where your life is. So that's where why the tricolor versions were very successful. And then we have Starter Baby, which is just a strong pick in general. I don't think that deck is going to go anywhere really. I think with more Surge Broly, like if the representation Surge Broly would go up, and as well as Surge Coup, which I think Surge Coup was really well represented in that event, and I couldn't turn a corner without seeing one. But even then, I think people were learning how to work around the Surge Leader effects, learning how to work around the leader. Basically the leader, the life leader. If you take a look at the stream where they are actually up, we actually had a couple Surge Coup versus Starter Baby in the top 16, as well as the day 1. If you look, it's basically just the mind game of, okay, when are you going to use your Surge effect, and can I get you down to a lower life before you get to that point, and then force you to use the Surge effect, either 10k or negate all effects, and then go from there. The other part of it is that both the Surge Coup as well as the Starter Baby decks play the Janemba Secret, which it didn't really care if you actually, got to 10k, which is okay. All right, you're negative 5k now on the Starter Baby's perspective. Or with if you build a board and you negate all their skills, then okay, that's fine. what of it? You're still, you know, negative 15k. That Ginebra secret has been a little bit slept on because it is, I wouldn't say underwhelming, but I think it's a very solid secret. And with the current format, it actually has performed quite well. And then shout out to Red Baby, which is Michael Silk, or Silk Michael? I'm pretty sure it's Michael Silk. And really huge shout out to him. It's really unfortunate that he got to top 16, really good he did, came all the way from Europe. Got to top 16, got the game lost because of his writing. Like, he forgot to put down the 1-drop rollies, and it's you know. And then we had the one yellow Broly, which was the tricolor. I think that was Miguel, and awesome. I just want to take a look at the deck because I didn't have too much information about that. Overall, not surprising where everything landed. I have a few other thoughts to kind of go through. I think the meta is very diverse in itself, and the creativity in the decks that were played and the things that were kind of shoved into the decks in itself, like the Surge Piccolo decks, like I was saying, the Surge Broly decks, the yellow Broly deck, right? They're all very creative for this event, and I think going forward with the set 9, it's only going to get even more ridiculous, which I'm very excited for. So what won the event? This is the deck that won the event. This is basically the main board, which we'll take a look at the sideboard. This is for Jonathan Rodriguez, and of course against Surge, which was, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but I believe Justin Rios. I'm so sorry if I got that wrong. I don't know how I did. I guess when I left, it was just all blank. It was just all blur. But very interesting deck. Had the one of, now banned, Unyielding Spirit Trunks. Had the 21 for all the Hachiyak matchups. Had the 2-drop Goku Black, and as well as the Twisted Justice Infused Zamasu, which this one on their turn, and as well as just having the ability to ramp up and get to that point. And shout out to Jaden, because he did play the tricolored version with this engine in it. Just Piccolo probably does a little bit better having an inherent blue access with Dimension Magic and just being able to ramp on the leader effect, or 3 or less. And I don't think people really had spot removal for this guy. I think the decks that that you are going against, or a lot of them, didn't really have an answer for this, because what you're gonna do, I mean, it's either you counterplay it or you try to remove it, which the counterplays most of the time is a removal, or something that acts as a removal for a lot of different decks. Of course, we had the 4-drop, or the 4 hidden potential, which is pretty crazy for the event. If you didn't know the ruling for Tau, in which you have a Tau out and you play hidden potential, denial of hope, whatever it may be, that makes something that isn't played go to the drop area. Tau triggers because it's going from hand to drop area. It was never played, right? I didn't really agree with it at first, but I do believe that is correct. The head judge even explained it to me, or explained to us when that was the case. It didn't really pop up on stream, but that was kind of the consensus what it was, or what was the consensus for it. And that really hurt Surge Piccolo, because he is a green leader, and being able to play 1 or 2, which I do believe Justin Reels did, I mean, that really made hidden potential a dead card. So it's really difficult to kind of get around. And this just becomes surge fodder or energy fodder, basically. But when you can use it, it is a really good card. And of course, we have the UI Goku for any big bombs like Kaioken, the arrival fodder for the Son Goku and Gohan, the removal. I love the Ultimate Fusion Gogeta. Just playing her for 5 is just awesome. I don't think you really need to do anything else. I don't think there's any targets for Gogeta, so I don't think it's not really a big deal. You're just going to ramp up with 16 as well as the leader itself. And then we have the Piccolo that is still pretty busted, get a little bit weaker in set 9 with all the extra cards, but it's still a very good card, especially against Surge-Q. If it sticks, they have to commit to, you know, using their leader effect or something else like Denial of Hope in order to get it removed, because it does target a lot of things in Surge-Q. Overall, very good deck. We're going to take a look at the sideboard and other decks right now. All right, here's the sideboard over here. So again, 2 Mafuba, 2 of the new Xeno Negates, which with the Master Roshi, I don't know where they're over here. It does become a 2-drop because of the permanent. So that's pretty cool. It just stops a lot of big bombs, basically. And then we have Dimension Manager Fu on the side, which I do think this is a good main board for a lot of things that don't have spot removal. Twisted Justice is basically his spot removal, and I think he, even on stream, hardcasted it, which was insane. But I don't blame him. And then the 21 in the side, I don't really know why it would be in the side, but I guess it's for slower matchups. Knowing the meta in itself right now, trying to play a lot of different things for lower cost, I guess it's a little bit better just to have it in the side for slower matchups. And then with Westkai, a really good option for the Great Ape or the Bardock Ape, and then another UI and one Champo for going a little bit more aggressive. I guess the Fuse Zamasu, the other one, which is not the pricey one right now, this is the pricey one. Well, I guess both of them are. This one should be the pricey one, that is. I'm guessing it is good with the Goku and Gohan as a really good target just to remove, and now you have an indestructible 20k that removes a card from their hand every turn. Here are all the lists. Huge shout out to Aspira. If you haven't taken a look here, just go to basically his profile. I'll put a link in the description if you need that. I kind of quickly want to go through these so that it doesn't take that long and I can go through my closing thoughts. So this is the blue-yellow version of Miguel's, the yellow Broly that I was talking about before. So a lot of good one-ofs here that I can see. The Frost Lily Poison, the Great Ape Goku, which I think is good in this deck because if you're playing blue-yellow, you know the game is going to go a little bit longer than normal games. The 3 main board UI Goku, which makes sense, especially for the Dropbox Piccolo, because usually blue-yellow doesn't have an answer for that. And 2 Time Magic, 2 or 1 Flying Nimbus. I guess I'm guessing just because you need a lot of things in the combo state or the combo step, negates are not very important. And then we have the Goku Black, in which if your opponent has 3 less energy, you choose one of the opponent's battle cards, it doesn't matter what cost, and place it in the energy arrest mode, which is pretty good because these 2 costs, again, Surge Q, you can negate, and then you can go ahead and get rid of that Bardock Ape. And they have 2 more energy, you switch 2 of your blue energy and switch to active mode. If you charge 2 like a blue and as well as a Beerus Fickle God, then there you go. You have those 2 blue energy. Pretty solid for a free negate. And then we have, of course, Senzu Bean, the Paragus, the 1 Unexpected Turn, which is pretty cool. Champa the Trickster, of course, Cooler, and all the other blue-yellow stuff that we need. Side looks pretty standard. Bardock, I'm guessing, is for, I'm not sure. I think Fu should be in the main, but it's good that he had him in the side. And of course, 3 Desperate Measures for a lot of different matchups that play lower to the ground. Here's Eddie's, 3 Cunning in the main. I love it with the Zamasu package, similar to, I believe, like I said, Jonathan Rodriguez's deck. And with the Janemba, I love the Janemba. Can't speak any highly for that. The Heavy Kick Krillin, overall, very interesting deck. And I'm glad it topped. That's all I can really say. Maybe some of the stuff is missing, by the way. Of course, we already went through the Jonathan Rodriguez deck. Here's Marquise's playing a Surge Piccolo as well. The 3 Special Beam Cannon in the main, which is awesome. 3 in the main for the hidden potential, 1 in the side. The hidden or unyielding Spirit Trunk, since it's gonna get banned, so why not play it, I guess. And then 3 Fearless Assault Krillin. Interesting that they would do this, but it makes sense in order to get to that 3 life or less. You can kind of control it, and they don't. Of course, Janemba, the Krillin 18 tech that Andrew Duvall was playing, so I'm glad that that kind of spread around. But the 6-drop Broly, which again is really good for the baby matchup, the Fu, and as well as the Secret for the Game Enders, and of course the Zamasu package in the side for maybe slower matchups, which he's not playing the 16, so I'm sure it works. Double Impact Krillin for the Tau, I'm guessing. Here's Daeon's. So this one was the Surge Piccolo. Similar deck to, I think, Andrew Duvall's, I want to say. We're going to take a look at it in a second. But this one features a lot of the counterplays with Vegeta the Cruel, Ultra Instinct Goku, Champa the Trickster, all the good stuff for Green Yellow, or the good one from Green Yellow was the 6-drop Broly, the Victory Strike, of course, after ramping up with 16 over here, as well as the Leader Effect. No Self-Awakening in this one. But I don't think you really need it because you really want to start on the front side, and you don't really want to worry about this until they actually make you take the life. I'm not sure about the Hopeful Universe 7. I was trying to figure out what the target for was that. I'm guessing you could probably use it on the Awakened Power. I mean, and then just keep going. I don't know. This is the one I saw on stream by Andrew Duvall. And this one is, I think, closer to what I like. I'm just saying it because it has 418s probably, but I think overall it's a bit more consistent. I think Maybe you can probably spend a little bit more room removing the Broly's at 4 and as well as the Krillin 18s at 4 because they are 10Ks and you already have enough 10Ks in the deck and as well as extra cards. So maybe taking those out and adding in a little bit more versatility. The Great Son Goku are clutch. I can't speak more on that. The double striking in the side, Tien in the side instead of Tao. Final Showdown because you get to use it on Krillin. And then the Master Roshi. Shout out to Rob. Of course, here is Joey Palladino's Surge Coup. I think it's pretty similar to the last deck. Maybe Crusher Ball in the main, and then Battle to the Death in the side is amazing. A lot of good stuff. I don't want to spend too much time on this one because I'm sure he's gonna go through it. Okay, here's Justin Rios. Rios's deck. I think this is good to take a look at because this was sort of the idea behind a lot of different decks that were playing Surge Coup and Tricolor, in which they were playing the Path of Greatness, of course, Frost Deadly Poison, but they're also playing this Gogeta package in which the Path of Greatness and as well as the Cestus Vegeta basically use itself as Union Fusion targets, and this isn't the first time that we've seen this. I don't think it topped, but Beerus did. There was a Beerus player who did play, I think, in either Chicago or Vegas. It was one of those in which I think it was Vegas, in which they were playing the Union Fusion targets like this in tricolored, and I think it's really amazing. I think the only thing that fell short for me on this one is that he wasn't playing Hide Mastery, which I feel like Hide Mastery, I know it's a little big of an engine in order to commit to, but I think it is worth in a lot of different matchups, but that's just me. And of course we had all many resistance in the side. Battle to the Death was probably really good for the Zamasu matchup with people who are playing Zamasu, and as well as just the because like I said, the 4-drop Piccolo is really hard to get rid of in this deck. Battle to the Death really helps for that. And then we have Denial of Hope on the side, which makes sense. After Image Technique, which I feel like more people should play in the main. And then Super Baby 2, which is sort of like Baby Janemba over here, still has Offering. It has Deflect, so it can't get hurt by Frost Deadly Poison or anything else like that. And another, or one more, actually, yeah, Banish Your Fu in the side. Probably just don't play this because you play Gogeta. Can we talk about how we always saw the Mercenary Talon play twice? Can we talk about that? I didn't want to go through all of the Surge Coup decks because they're kind of similar. No offense to you guys, but I'm sure you guys can take a look at the list themselves. But the Robbery deck that we had on stream played the Dormant Engine Legend. Oh wow, Dormant Legend Engine, and as well as the Sun Goten. And the post-game interview, he said he would never play that again, or he wouldn't play that again, even though these are pretty strong. I think he would commit more to Vegeta the Cruel and a few other cards. The Swift Executioner is probably one of the most clutch cards in that deck. I don't know about this one, but it is a Dormant Legend target, so there you go. And then of course he played Kaioken in the side, which I think should be in the main instead, but that's just me. But the Broly Supreme Berserker, that was a clutch card. Like, people just didn't have an answer for that. And it was just amazing since most of the time people are going to have more than 4 cards and they're going to reveal their hand. You can rip anything. Helps with the Victory Strike matchup, and it just helps in general, especially coupled with the Broly Crown of Retribution. Shout out to the Zaire Herring's Surge Broly deck, which again, this one played the newfound power Son Gohan, which you can awaken, of course, with Saiyan Kaba, so that way you can get to that 3 or less and protect yourself. Just being at 4 feels bad, and if you have no options for that, then it makes sense just to go ahead and play some Self-Awakening, right? And then we have the split super combos for Sparking. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I don't know where the other one is. So there's 2. Oh, is he playing Paragus? Yeah, yes, there is. That's what I was looking for. So he's playing the Sparking Negate in Paragus. I think you should play the red Sparking Negate just so you can have a little bit more for Rival and more versatility, but I'm sure Isaiah knows what he's doing. And then of course the Strategy for Toad package, which was amazing, by the way. Like, when you really think about it, as soon as you have this out on the field, you get to neg 2 things and ignoring barrier, and then basically anytime they combo, especially against rival decks or things that need that extra color and you know which one they need, you can just rip that on any turn. So I love it. And of course Kaioken in the side, which is kind of a whole thing going on with this one. Unexpected Turn, Focus Breakthrough instead of Beerus Ball because it doesn't hit Topo, and then Tien, Shouted. Good stuff. Here's Thomas Lippman's Starter Baby. Got pretty close to taking it all, but lost in top 4. Shout out to him. We had the pretty much the entire engine for Starter Baby. Strategies on the side, which is very important. Of course, Vengeful Blow was super important. Just not seeing the things that you need in the deck it hurts a lot. But seeing all the things as you progress within the game and you don't die is really important. With only one negate in the side, or in the main, with Topo in the main, which I don't think I saw too much on stream. I know I'm going through these pretty quick, but I don't want this to be like a 40-minute video or 45-minute video, so we'll stick to 30 minutes. This one is Michael Silk's Red Baby. Shout out to him, like I said. Pretty standard overall. I love that he's playing the 1-drop Baby over here, and Mutai Ito with the Great Gohan for the fodder of using it for the Super Baby 1, and then you can always go ahead and get into the 5-drop with that, or just Unifusion each other basically. So love it. And then we have Khalifa, which is some good spice over there. Crusher Ball coming in clutch yet again. And then we have the Beerus in the side instead of the main. I think he should probably play these, like switch these, but I could be wrong. 3 Vengeful Blow, which makes sense because this is a baby deck. Like it focuses more on that. Flying Nimbus in the side as well. Overall, awesome picks. Okay, let's go ahead and get this finished out. What do we know now? So the Surge Takeover only got stronger, and the Surge Piccolo, and as well as the anti-Surge Piccolo or Surge Coup plan kind of went into effect. Both of those things kind of coupled with each other. Piccolo kind of took over. People had a game plan for Surge Coup in Piccolo, and kind of went from there basically. And that's kind of how the whole leader breakdown came about. Hatch and Janemba went nowhere. We had none in the top cut. We did have a few playing it. I think both of them are still pretty strong decks. The issue with Hachiak was that there was a lot of Piccolo running around. So because of that, people were playing the 21. And as soon as that went down, it was over for Hatch. Janemba has a great matchup against Surge Coup and probably the other Surge leaders as well. But because again, if Surge Piccolo and the Hand Destruction route really hurt Janemba in itself. We still didn't have any Beerus because all the Surge Piccolo or Surge decks do it a little bit better. I'm sure he'll make his comeback sometime or another. Starter Baby was strong as ever. Still only one yellow Broly, and it's probably not going to see too many Brolys in the future either because of the errata. And then Championship Pack and Expansion promo availability. Basically, because we saw so many, or because we had a few weeks or a couple weeks in between, or about a week or so in between events, people had a little bit more availability, and that's why it kept showing up over and over in these top 16 decks. And then set 9 is in the next 3 to 4 weeks, so I don't know who's going to be top dog. Is it going to be Cooler, Jaren, Universe 7, or will the meta stay the same? I'm asking you guys to see, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you for all the comments that you've given me so far and supporting me. Think about becoming a sponsor. Join the Discord. Check out our website, stayzero.com, or stayzero.net, sorry. I'll see you in the next one. Later.